During the tragic days of the Great Depression, Franklin D. Roosevelt acknowledged the dark realities of the moment. He promised Americans that he would wage war against the emergency just as though we were infants invaded by a foreign foe. On day one of FDR's presidency, President Roosevelt took the first steps to live up to his promise to the Americans who had been suffering for 3 years. Roosevelt's economic and social policies, combined with World War II, helped revitalize the economy and led us to a complete recovery. On October 28, 1929, the stock market in New York City crashed, and this moment in time became known as Black Monday. The stock market declined nearly 13%, and this crash made the existing depression worse than it already was. That's when the economy started to panic, and citizens used all their savings, borrowed money to buy stocks, and pushed prices to be unsustainable. Between 1929 and 1933, 10,768 commercial banks in the U.S. failed, and the banks had to close because they didn't have enough money. Then people started to exchange American dollars for gold, and the gold price went up. When the recession caused the GDP to drop 10%, the U.S. was at its lowest. President Roosevelt brought 3 new deals into office: the Agricultural Adjustment Act, the Federal Emergency Act, and the Public Works Administration. The first part of the New Deal was the Agricultural Adjustment Act to raise food prices to help the farmers. The second part was the Federal Emergency Act to help the unemployed. And last but not least, Public Works Administration was made to sponsor the public works projects and create new jobs for the unemployed. President Roosevelt started to put another New Deal called the Second New Deal. This Second New Deal was called the Works Progress Administration. The unemployed wanted to work, and soon enough, almost everyone was working after the Works Progress Administration. FDR's policies were designed to help the economy get back up on their feet. The New Deal took action to bring about immediate economic relief, as well as reforms in industry, agriculture, finance, water power, labor, and housing, vastly increasing the scope of the federal government's activities. These new deals coming in were making the economy have hope in the system. The U.S. started to recover near the end of 1938, and the economy had almost fully recovered from the Great Depression when the U.S. was attacked, and we had no choice but to enter World War II. The number of unemployed workers declined by 7,050,000 between 1940 and 1943, and the military reduced by 8,590,000. World War II and FDR's economic and social policies helped revitalize the economy and led us to a complete recovery. The Great Depression was a long 8 years of recovery. When the Americans went to war, people started to gain jobs and started to live the life they always wanted for a long time. 80 years later, there are still disagreements about FDR's policies to help the economy recover, and if the policies made us go deeper into the Depression.